This is LifeTalk Radio. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Life Talk Radio. I'm your host, Dana LeBlanc, and today we are discussing navigating entrepreneurship and faith. And my guest today is a multifaceted business owner. We're going to talk with him here in just a moment. But first, if Life Talk Radio is providing you with actionable strategies and providing you with value in your life, we want to hear from you because at the end of the day, it really is all about our listeners. And we want to continue to bring you content that is going to help you on your success journey. And we can be found on all socials, including YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like, comment. We can be found on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever there's a social, Life Talk Radio can be found right there. And without further ado, I am going to introduce my guest. His name is Khalil. Did I pronounce it right?
It's Khalil.
Khalil Dealert is in the house.
A lot of people might say you did pronounce that right. My name is Arabic.
It is Arabic. It is, okay, cool, man. Cool. Stay in that mic for me, my friend. All right, so it's good to have you on the show, my friend. I am really excited that you're going to be here, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm glad to be here. You and I have known each other for a very long time.
Very long time, man. And this is a new setting for us, but it's all good. I'm very excited, man, because you have a lot going on. I've watched you grow up over the years, both you and your brother. You are a twin.
Yep.
Right? Identical twins, right?
Identical twins. we do look alike.
They do look alike, guys. If I didn't know you, I think I would kind of get you guys confused a little bit. I know you more than I know your brother.
Yeah.
It's all good, my friend. It's all good. But yeah, so you are a multifaceted individual. I've watched you grow up, man. I've known you gosh, what, 16 years now?
Yeah, it feels like my whole life. As long as I can remember, I remember being a child, going to church with my godmom Tivoli.
Yeah.
And always seeing you there, as we talked about previously.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like growing up in the church. I've kind of grown up with you as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, it was just always something about you and your brother. You all just had a kind of a standout persona to me. And I knew that you all were going to be something, you know? I'm not just saying that, man. You guys always had this very poised, just this poised personality, you know, growing up. And it's been cool, man, to watch what you all have accomplished in your life. You have a lot going on. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment. But first, why don't you just say hello to the folks out there and just greet them.
Yeah, absolutely, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be finally shooting content again. This is my first podcast that I've done in a very long time.
Okay.
So I'm happy to be here with you, talking about my faith and how that affects, my business decisions that I make in my everyday life as well. Yeah. I think that's so important, being a young man, being a young entrepreneur, or just a person who's navigating life in today's day and age with all the social issues that we have going on. It's like, how can I incorporate faith or just the universe into my life to where I feel whole or purposeful? And then how do we also take that and apply that to our business and navigate that to our relationships and our family life? And I feel like those are things in my everyday life that I'm constantly thinking about and constantly navigating with, is not only how can I make money, but how can I navigate my relationship with God or faith or the universe or my relationship with others as well? Yes,
man, for sure. Pronounce the first name for me one more time.
Khalil Dillard. A lot of people call me KD.
KD. Well. Okay, I'm going to call you KD. Although I've known him for many years, I can never get his name right.
And that's a lot of people. But you know what? Being an entrepreneur and having my name is beautiful, and having such a unique name. But also, when you start getting into business, you also want to be recognizable. Yeah. So, I tell people to call me KD. There's a lot of well-known people that go by KD, Kevin Durant. Yeah. I tell people all the time, KD like Kevin Durant, just a lot shorter. And I'm not that good at basketball.
Khalil. Okay, that's all. But you're very athletic, bro.
Yeah.
You're very, very athletic.
Sports and working out are a big part of my life, and how I just navigate my mental awareness and also my spiritual awareness. I like to think of myself as like a soldier for God, a soldier for Christ, a soldier for my country.
Yeah.
You know, at any moment, I feel like people should be prepared, and being in the gym or being focused and fit makes me prepared for service, you know, for service of all kinds of things. So I take that to heart.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, the endorphins that you release in your brain from working out and the focus that you are able to develop, I mean, those are transferable skills that you can apply to any area of your life. You know, I love the gym, bro. You know, I don't know how I would survive without it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all good, man. Well, let me just kind of read a little bit about Khalil. So he is a 26-year-old serial entrepreneur, not just an entrepreneur, but he is a serial entrepreneur, a sales professional, and the host of the Rip Off and Duplicate podcast. Bro, we're gonna talk about that here in just a moment. Khalil also earned a graduate degree in business management from Fresno State, where he honed his skills in leadership and entrepreneurship. With 5 years of experience as a real estate professional, he has established himself as a respected and trusted member of the local business community. In addition to his work with real estate, he is also a small business owner where he leverages his entrepreneurial spirit to build and grow successful ventures. As a leader in the community, Khalil is committed to making a positive impact through his work and involvement in local organizations. He takes pride in his faith, family, and his friends, and through his podcast, the Rip Off and Duplicate podcast, Khalil shares his insights and expertise on entrepreneurship, business strategy, and his goals is to unlock or help others unlock their full potential. I want to read that again because I want to make sure I get that right, because I love this part. His passion about empowering others to achieve their goals and unlock their full potential. Did I say it right that time? Okay. Yep. All right. With his diverse background and unique perspective, Khalil is a dynamic and driven individual poised to make a lasting impact in the Central Valley and beyond. Bro, that's strong stuff.
Thank you. That was great.
When I was reading your bio, I said, man, this is, it's a lot of information, but I want to make sure I get it all right because it really does represent you well.
Absolutely. And I try to encompass it all just in a way that really captures people because there's a lot of work to be done, not only within ourselves, but within our community.
Good stuff, man.
As long as we're striving to help others.
Yes, sir.
Grow within our faith and our family, I feel like everyone is always continue to be on the right path as well.
Yes, sir, man. That's good stuff, bro. Let's I want to start here before we dive into your present. So, our paths crossed from your godmother, Tivoli, and I've also had your god aunt, Arinda, on the show. Very intelligent woman, very articulate. And your path crossed with them kind of like, it was unusual and unexpected, right?
Absolutely.
You want to talk about that just for a minute?
Yeah. So my godmother very well.
Yeah.
Probably my whole life as well.
Yeah.
Has been that long.
Yeah.
But my godmother Tivoli, whose sister Arinda was on your show previously, she knew my mother from a very young age. Okay. My mom had my brother and I when she was very young.
Yeah.
And Tivoli was actually there the day I was born.
Wow.
Because she was my mom's social worker. So my mom being a young parent, she was assigned a social worker.
Wow.
And Tivoli and my mom have such a very special relationship. And that relationship grew with my brother and I as well. So that was very fortunate for my brother and I, knowing a woman like Tivoli, knowing a family like the Coolies. Yeah. They were able to, take us from certain environments, situations at times. Yeah. Allow us to grow up with faith and have faith in the church.
I love that.
And my grandma Mary, Tivoli's mom, just cares and loves us.
Dude, isn't she
so
awesome,
much.
bro? Miss Mary is so.
And it's so great to have a family that cares about you, that loves you, because that's our family. We've known them our whole life. Right. But just having a family that prays for you. Yeah, man. And sometimes when times get hard and you feel like, you're all alone and, and you just know that people are always there for you.
For sure.
So I feel like I've been so blessed to have people that support me like Tivoli and her family, and that I always have, because when I'm navigating business in my life, it's like, how can I fail when I have people that support me so much?
Absolutely.
And they've always given us that love. And Tivoli has no kids. And so my whole life, my brother and I have grown up with the love of her kids. Yeah, taking us on family vacations. Yeah, going and exposing us to the love of God all over the country. Yeah, and it's my life has forever been changed by the love that someone has shown me.
A stranger,
a stranger to my mom that day.
Yeah, dude, it's all good, man. But you know what? I want to talk about that a little bit more. I mean, you talk about an intersection of life and the providence of God. Mm-hmm. If you don't mind, let's talk about your mom. When she was how old when she had you all?
So my mom was 13 when she got pregnant with my brother.
13 years old, bro. Mm-hmm. So okay, and because of her age, it caused the system to get involved. Is that how that worked out? Okay, and then just so happened God put Tivoli, a godly woman, in her path, and the rest is history, bro. Exactly. Man, who would have known where you all would have ended up? I mean, it could have been a different way.
And that's still a big part of my life, especially now that I'm getting older, is I'm constantly asking myself, what would my life look like if certain people had not been involved or certain decisions had not been made. Sure. But now that I'm growing into the man that I am, I try to just use those moments as reflections on who the person that I'm growing to be. Sure. And I use that as a way I'm very blessed, and I just try to help people see that they have people that love and care about them in their life as well. Yeah, yeah. Because I know if a stranger can love and care about me and my family the way that certain people have had, that there's definitely more love out there than people know that they have.
Yeah, man. I love that, brother. And that in return blesses you. It also blesses them. But now you're able to reach back because you understand the depth of that blessing. Absolutely. Right? And so I'm not kidding you, man. Your whole personality and your brother's personality, you guys are so kind and so genuine, and just, you guys are gentlemen, Yeah. And I love that, bro, because it really could have been another way, man. A lot of people in your situation turn out to be, dropouts. They turn out to be, addicted. But, you guys have really kept a level head through your entire life, right?
And that's not saying that those aren't things that haven't affected us or our lives, or things that we aren't that we haven't experienced or gone through or have gone through. Sorry. Right. But I just think that when you have people that care about you, or when you understand that there's a purpose for your life that's bigger than any selfish thing that you may be doing, that at times it allows you to see clearer, that there's a bigger picture. Because there's been times in my life, and I know my brother's life, where he's dealt with certain things, and where we both have had our own battles, but luckily we've been around people who have faith and who have discipline. Yes, sir. And that allows us to reach back into what we know, so that we can continue to grow.
Good
a lot
stuff.
of people can't reach back into what they know because they don't have enough of that.
Good stuff, bro.
But yeah, we've been blessed. Definitely.
That's awesome, man. I love that, brother. I love how God is so mindful of us. Even when we are infants, God sets things up and he puts things in order, to help secure your future, bro. And so you guys have done great. You graduated high school. So take us, let's, kind of fast forward a little bit. You guys graduated high school. How was your high school experience?
My high school experience was great. I'm a local guy. My family is a local family. We're born and raised here in Modesto. My brother and I attended Central Catholic High School. We played a lot of
Catholic
sports.
High School.
Yeah, we attended
I didn't know that.
Faith and spirituality are a big part of my life. Okay, I feel like like a lot of people out there, it can at times be. Oh, sorry.
You have some issues with that earphone.
Yeah, with this right in here.
It's all good.
Oh, perfect. That's fitting perfect now.
Okay, but
I feel like at times, a lot people can have a hard time fitting in, but they know that they believe, and so I've just been fortunate to be around faith. And at times where I have been, where I have felt unfaithful, I've always known that someone loves me. At times where I have felt like maybe I don't love myself, because men and women feel like that at times, especially in our young ages, that 18 to 35, everyone experiences the lack of self-love. But when you realize that someone loves you, that's not yourself, and that there's more to life, I think that's when I really felt purpose. So high school for me was great. I had a great group of guy friends. They're all starting to get married now.
Yeah.
A great group of friends. We only graduated. There was only 60 of us in our graduating class.
Wow.
So we all knew each other. It was a great experience for me. We grew up in heavy athletics, playing sports, baseball, football, basketball, wrestling. We're always doing something involved with the community. I have a great godfather as well who exposed us to a lot of things. In Salida, we played baseball. And now being a young adult and making my own money or making some money, I'm able to expose my younger siblings to the same things that I was exposed to.
Good, bro.
And now it feels like it's coming back full circle.
Yeah.
And I think I'm turning out okay. And so now I'm like, okay, now what can they turn out to be like if we expose them to more and more and more? Yeah,
man. I love that, brother. Again, that's that, it's that mentality, bro. And, it's God that gives us our heart and God that gives us our mindset, because, you guys could have, literally, you could have been buck wild, you know, absolutely. But you all, you were able to tap into the positive things of life, and you guys have you made it. So you graduated high school, and what'd you do after high school? You went to Fresno State?
After high school, oops, sorry, I was loud. After high school, I went and played junior college football.
Okay.
So I went up to Butte College and played football. Had a great career there. I was a true freshman. It was a great experience, but I've always had a calling for entrepreneurship and a responsibility as a young man to take care of my family. And recognizing those things, I naturally went on to go get a job but it was still hard for me transitioning to life after sports.
Sure.
Because I was such a good athlete and I felt like I could play at the next level, but also having responsibilities that I needed to tend to. A lot of people, you can manage it too. Some people can, but at the time, I was 19 and dead broke.
Man.
It was time to go make some money or figure out some long-term plans for myself.
Yeah.
And at that time, my brother was having a great experience at Fresno State. And so I thought to myself, it's about time. Let me go transition to the university.
Good.
So I wanted to be closer to home. Got into Fresno State, transitioned there. It took me 5-6 years to graduate. So.
Hey, bro, you did it though, man. You did it.
It was a great experience. But COVID kind of took a little bit out of that. And COVID was a unique time for me. I've always been an entrepreneur, but at the same time, I've always worked on growing in my career path as well, my degree path. So I've always held jobs while I'm building my podcast, building my other businesses on the side. And that's one thing that I emphasize is hard work and sacrifice, because a lot of people don't know, or they're not willing to accept what it takes to be successful or the responsibility that it takes to grow or raise a family. It's a big responsibility.
It's a huge responsibility, man. Yeah, and you gotta have more than a desire, right? You gotta have a plan, you gotta have an action, you gotta have a strategy, and if you do that and you commit to it, man, and even though it took you said 5 years, 6 years, you still accomplished it, bro. So I love that, man.
Yeah, my brother beat me too, and he's happy about that. But it's been such a blessing being able to work closely with family. Yeah, a lot of people, they're always saying don't work with family, but for me it's been such a blessing and a great experience to break bread and make good money with my brother. Like that's the best experience ever. And if something did go wrong, at least we're both in a position to where we are conjoined in our responsibilities to take care of our family as a whole.
I love that, bro.
He's married. His wife is now a part of our family. Now it's both of our responsibilities to take care of the family as a whole. I feel like a lot of people don't think like that. And
that's not the Western world mentality.
Yeah, it's not. But you know what? Some of the mentalities in the Western world, I think people in other countries have it right. I think you always take care of the family structure and everything else follows. And same thing in entrepreneurship. If you build a big enough business and it's your business, you can teach your brother, your sister how to do that. If you teach them entrepreneurship, you can feed back into them to where their business grows. They become self-sufficient and their money grows quicker. I think about my life at times, and although I have had other jobs, that have helped me grow. I think about the businesses that I have built and what they allowed me to do, and the things that I've been able to do with that, and the life that I've been able to create. And I'm very fortunate that at 26 years old, I've been able to make my own schedule, be on my own time.
Yeah, man.
And I really cherish that. And one day it might not be that.
Yeah.
But now I've done the things that I need to do to make that happen.
Good stuff.
And it's slowly starting to clear up. But I still go to work, in my business.
Yeah. You got to go to work, man. You got to make it happen. You can make it happen, bro. How's it working? So you said you like working with your brother. Are you guys naturally competitive with each other? How does that work out? You guys are close?
We're close. We're naturally competitive. We're different. My brother, he coaches high school wrestling. He's very involved with the community, and so am I. But I think that we both connect with people in different ways as well.
Okay.
But we both work well together. Like we work together in our business every morning. We have our food service business. We have a box truck, and every morning we go and we fulfill our route.
Yeah.
And having that time with him, to where we're in the car together, we're working together. We get to talk about our business, some of the things that aren't working, some of the things that are working.
Yeah.
It's constantly solving problems with my brother that are only going to make us more money.
Good, bro.
So why wouldn't we do that?
I love it.
I love that aspect of that. And when things are bad, we get to handle that together.
Nice, man. I love it, bro. That's beautiful, man. I really do. I love that. So some of the things that we're going to talk about today with Kyle is rapidly changing markets and market strategies. We're going to talk about financial management and some of the challenges that surround finances in entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about leadership development, work-life balance, and the strategies that people can implement into their life to have a work-life balance, because that is a tough one, man, as an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and everything rises and falls with you, right? And then we're going to close off with the impact of economic fluctuations. Okay, so let's just start right there, my friend. Let's talk about the rapidly changing markets and market strategies. What are your thoughts on that so far? And if you want to just relate it to your specific industry, you can do that. If you just want to kind of talk about it overall, just where do you want to start with that?
Yeah. So, as you know, I've been involved in many different industries. My main profession will always be real estate. I've had a real estate license the last 5 years, but I've also built other side businesses that have helped my real estate business continue to be in business in a way. Now, and that's a lot of times what young entrepreneurs or young people who are looking to get into real estate, they don't know. Yes, I believe that a person should hop in full time, but I also believe in collecting data and being able to market to other people, make money on the side as well. I know a lot of other successful entrepreneurs who are also involved in real estate, and although they're doing different things, they're always building a main business. You know what I mean? They're always actively involved. And so for me and my brother, we've been fortunate enough to purchase our food service business to where we've been able to have that business as cash flow, help us grow our real estate business and continue to do more marketing that way. Or that's at least what we're attempting to do, especially now that I'm here local, outside of Fresno and back in Turlock. But I always encourage people to pick a niche and stick to that niche. If you're going to do real estate, but you're already involved in healthcare, how can you network to healthcare professionals in a way that they may want to buy homes from you as well? People do it all the time. There's RNs out there who are great real estate professionals.
Sure. So when we talk about rapidly changing markets and market strategies, let's go to market strategies first. So you're saying diversify is what you're saying.
I'm not saying diversify. I'm saying that if you're already involved in something that you can stick to what you know, but still talk to that collective audience.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so for me and my businesses, I like service-based businesses because I know I can collect information from my customers and then market back to them in real estate. Now, other people who aren't involved in that kind of industry, they may not be able to do that.
Okay.
But if you are involved in industries where Where say like education, teachers, you still have a network of people inside that community of teachers that you can still market to.
Okay.
And so I think a lot of people get hung up in, I need to be around real estate, but it's really the network of people in the community that you have within the community that you know.
Sure. Okay, so
sorry, I hope that answered your question.
No, it did. So I just want to make sure that I'm covering this with you to the extent of what we're able to. So when you look at markets and how they are changing, have you noticed? Just within and let's just kind of clarify for the listeners. So you're a real estate agent. Yep. Are you also a broker, or are you just an agent?
No, I'm just an agent. My godfather is the broker of the business that we have. So our business is HomeLink Real Estate and Mortgage. That's based out of Salida, California, right outside of Modesto.
Sure.
And we do all of our work all around the Central Valley as well.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're a real estate agent, and then you have your
food service
food service business. And what is the name of that business?
That business is Holiday Vending Services.
Okay.
So my brother and I provide break room and vending services to corporate clients, and that involves that's corporate warehousing, break rooms, and other facilities like that as well.
Sure, man.
Healthcare facilities.
Okay. And have you noticed? Let's just say in the last, let's just say since COVID, post COVID, what kind of market changes have you noticed in the real estate as well as in the food service industry?
The biggest thing is definitely inflation. Inflation in housing and housing costs, inflation of food costs.
Right.
And for me, that directly impacts the businesses that I'm involved in. The price of candies going up.
Yeah.
So that's been hard for me because I have to continuously raise my prices, but continue to provide a good service to clients. As people are eating less products as well.
Yeah.
But people ultimately still have to eat. And luckily, we have a great business model in place with our clients to where we get to offer products at a lower cost and then bill them for the remaining cost of that.
Gotcha.
So we have a good business strategy and good relationships with our clients. But it took us a while to build that, and it took us a lot of hard work to learn our business.
For sure.
Since we purchased our business from someone else.
For sure. Yeah, man. Some of those, I tell you, the inflation is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how industries expect the average consumer to live. If you look, even a candy bar that used to cost $1, it's like now $3.25 for one candy bar.
And people are wondering why we're involved in so much or why we're doing so much. Well, it costs a lot to live, and it costs a lot to maintain, a lifestyle. Not only does it cost a lot to support family, but if you want things out of life, the American dream, that costs money. So you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And for me, I always felt like the traditional route was, for one, not enough money because I'm too young to have enough experience.
Right.
So I had to make my own experience by creating my own entity. I
love that,
my own business where I can manage my own cash flow and money there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So what are some market strategies that you can give to our listeners right now? That it doesn't matter what industry that they're in. What are some market strategies that will help them level up and be better in their space?
I think the best market strategy is exposure. It is putting yourself out there in your network and your community of people. I think that, making people aware of the thing that you're doing or the things that you're involved in allows people to support you in whatever it is that you're doing. And I think that when you work for a company, you're constrained into how you can expose yourself or network yourself. But when you work for yourself, it's easy to tell anybody what it is you do. Hey, I'm Khalil Dillard. I'm also a real estate professional, and I have a food service business. So now people are interested in what I do. So I think just by telling people what it is you do and providing value in your space and showing up every day, at the end of the day, this is for you and your family. It's not for anyone else.
Right.
So if you're not telling anybody what you do, then no one's going to know, especially in today's day and age of social media and how we network and interact with each other.
Yeah.
The least you can do is put exposure to your business. Why is anybody going to do business with you if only a few people can find you on the internet or know about you? There's a lot of competition out there. You have to raise your hand. You have to ask for business. You have to make it aware to people. And I think that when you show up every day, you also provide value to whatever space that you're in with education and resources to others. I think it makes it easier for people to work with you as well.
For sure, man. That's so good. Let's talk about the social media aspect of it, because, man, that's one of the things that I can see, especially in the last, let's say 4 to 5 years, that has really changed in every industry is social media and the need to be on social media for marketing, right? So some of the traditional things have gone away, like, print ad and newspaper and, magazine, even, TV commercials are not as popular as they used to be, because everything has traversed over to the internet, And do you feel that companies that have not adopted that social media, mindset of advertising on social media is harming themselves? Or, kind of, what do you think about that?
I definitely think it's harming themselves.
Yeah.
I call myself a community marketer.
Okay.
So I'm my business.
Yeah.
I run my real estate business. That's my brand. My holiday vending has its own brand, but at the end of the day, I push that brand.
Right.
So I think it's important to be on social media, because even social media, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Instagrams, the Twitters, they know and they curate your community and your audience of people.
For sure.
So they can find the people that are looking for you. So if you're not on there, how can they help you find the people who are either going to refer you business, buy your products, or tell other people about your business as well? So I think it's so important to be on social media. And it also gives people an authentic feel of your business.
Yeah.
Are they actually working? What are they actually doing in their business?
Right.
Do they even have a business? Because a lot of the times people just say, hey, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell a corporation, with 1,000 employees that, hey, my brother and I, we can handle a company like yours because we're already doing it.
For sure.
And here's the proof. And we go around in our box truck every day and we load it up and we fulfill our facilities.
Nice, dude.
And that also allows people to build trust with you.
Sure.
So you have to give people a human experience.
Yeah.
So they want to work with you, and a lot of people are scared.
Yeah, that's true. And that's one of the aspects of business that has not changed. Is people still look for value, and people still look for trust in their business relationships. But man, I'm telling you, it's one of the advantages that your generation, I think you're Gen Z. No, you Gen X.
I don't know. I try to be in whatever lane is moving forward and making money. That's what lane I'm in. But also, I try to take as much information and knowledge as possible from people of all generations, like having this conversation with you and the other conversations that we've had. People like my grandpa, and just soaking up information. I also feel a lot of people don't take the time to do that, especially a lot of the younger people. But I recognize that some of the people that I know with a lot of wisdom may not be there in the future, because I've also experienced loss of men and women that are young, and they don't get to have those conversations anymore. So understanding that has definitely allowed me to mature more.
For sure. Now, did you say your grandfather is the broker?
No, my godfather.
Your godfather.
Yeah, my godfather. John.
Okay, so he's probably much older than you, right? Yeah. What's his mentality towards social media and advertising online?
I think he does a great job. He's awesome in the community.
Okay.
And I think he's done a great job in a time where there was no social media.
Yeah.
But he's always been a person that cared. I think at the end of the day, if you're a person that cares about the needs of others and puts people's feelings forward, I think that it's hard not to be successful. And I think he's always been one of those people. So I think now navigating social media for him and his business looks a little different.
Okay.
But I also think he's done a great job at continuing to run a business and in an age where he's had to navigate coming into the internet and then all that as well. That's
cool. Yeah. I know a lot of people in my age group that, and I'm a much older guy than you are, but that, kind of resist the whole social media aspect. But, the way that things have changed, and if you're not on social media, man, if you're not utilizing, think about it, man. The internet, you can literally be around the world and back in a split second, and if you're not embracing the benefits of social media, you really are doing yourself a disservice, because, that's where everything is moving towards. And now with this whole AI movement, things are rapidly changing, and business owners must be of the mindset, hey, that I'm willing to pivot, and I'm willing to try, new things and adapt new philosophies and new approaches to the market, because, if you want to stay relevant and stay successful, then you have to be able to, to make those adjustments as well.
Absolutely. And a lot of people ask me who aren't familiar with social media, they always ask me about the podcast. Why do you do the podcast? Well, not only do I do it for myself, and it does bring attention and exposure to my business, it allows me to tell my story, my experience, and also detail my journey as an entrepreneur. So I use my experience at life and creating content as an opportunity for me to create essentially a playbook for my younger brother who's 10 years old.
That's so good.
And for him to be able to use my experience and other people out there to navigate their experience and not only life, but I think we all can learn from each other. But in ways that social media has helped my business grow, and how getting out of my comfort zone has helped my business grow. But it has allowed me to reach other people who trust me, who now have become friends of mine, who refer my business, who give me business, but also who are in the same mindset as me as well.
They're like-minded people.
We're like-minded, and we're on the same journey. So it's allowed me to kind of find my tribe of people as well.
That's good, man.
To block out all the other noise of things that we often experience in life as well. Doubters, self-doubt, it allows me to find my inner circle of people who are looking to achieve the same things that I'm trying to achieve as well.
Nice. You've mentioned your little brother a couple of times. He's 10 years old. Do you kind of see like an entrepreneurial spirit in that kid, or no?
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
I'm all about wedding. It's been hard for me because I've experienced so much life, and then having a younger sister and a younger brother, and experiencing certain things, you kind of like a parent, you want to protect them from certain things. So I just want to give him the best experience as possible, but also kind of put him in situations where he can kind of learn and grow. So I'm curious. I know he'll turn out to be a great person, but I want him to be a great man.
Good stuff, bro.
And sometimes you have to be hard on people for them to understand their full potential.
Yeah.
And I had great men who were hard on me. My Uncle Lou, who passed away, was such a big part of my life, and just if I didn't have men like him in my life,
right,
who would I be?
Right. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool. Let's transition to talk about financial management. As a business owner, dealing with finances, and using them, being, the steward over your finances. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, that everything rises and falls with you, especially on the financial side, So talk about that, some of the things that you've dealt with in your financial management, and some of the challenges that you have faced as well.
Man, let's just start off with the challenges. I feel like being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, people only want to see the good. But I've experienced so much as an entrepreneur, from raising capital to start my own business, to having to pay back friends and family who I owe money to, who allowed me to start this business. But people often don't see the stress or the work it takes to build all that up. But oftentimes in my life, where I have been a young man, where I haven't been in the right mindset to receive abundantly, God had, or the universe has never blessed me abundantly. So recently I had some changes in my life that have allowed me to have a different perspective on how I receive and give.
Talk about that. I don't want to cut you off, but talk about that just for a second.
Like, man, I went through some experiences lately financially where, I'm doing everything right in my business. Things are going well in my life, but things still don't feel right financially. It's like you could be doing better, you could be doing more. You look back, at previous years, and you're like, all right, where's the money? And so this year has really been an experience for me to really dive deep into my business and see what are the hurdles, but also understanding, what am I doing in my personal life that is allowing me to receive differently, but also give differently as well. You know, how am I showing up for myself day to day? What am I going out to the bar? Am I going out to the club? What are my relationships like with other people? And I think that when you finally have a look at those adjustments and you just start to live a life that is more meaningful, then the universe, the world, God just starts to bless you more abundantly. And now my business has been growing and just things have been coming to me in ways that I honestly can't explain. And I can't explain it because I just have a different approach to how I'm approaching just everything. And I thank God for clarity.
Okay.
And
do you think you're managing your finances differently?
I think that as you get older and you start to see what's important, that you naturally start to put certain things first. And I think that, you know, I have to taking a look at certain things and like, okay, we're just going to prepare a little bit better for them. But also what's coming in is abundant. So I know that that I'm being blessed.
Okay.
And I'm not saying, you know, I'm a rich guy or anything like that, but to me, like I can feel my life changing for the better.
Good.
So it makes me want to live my life differently and for the better.
Good.
Because I know if I can receive these things, then I can give great things.
Yeah.
And that's really changed my perspective on how I receive. Because I used to give money. I've been in business entrepreneurship for a long time.
Yeah, man, a long time you have.
So I've been used to making money, but you know, it never felt the same. It never felt the same.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. You know, management of finances as a business owner is so important. You know, you find that a lot of your income is going out to cover expenses, right? And it's important that you have that healthy balance of you being able to be current on all your expenses, but at the same time, you are putting, you know, funds away to cover, you know, unexpected situations, and you know you do want to give more, so you have to have that healthy balance when it comes to finances. And if you look at the biblical principles of finances, the Bible talks about finances a lot, and we're not going to go into the depth of what some of those principles are on this particular show. Maybe we can come back and we can go deeper, but it's important that our stewardship, you know, as God begins to bless us. And you talked about how you notice that things are coming in now, and that's why I wanted to ask you about your management of those resources. And
particularly on that, like we had a situation with the client who, oftentimes when you're a small business owner, you deal with people net 30. You deal with corporate clients on net 30, and getting them to pay you net 30 is hard. So it's more like 45 and 60. So as a business owner, you have to navigate cash flow and not having that money as well. And so that was a hard part for us, where we had to continue to work essentially when we were not being paid, but still navigate paying other people, paying ourselves, and paying life. And that put me in a tough place to where I really had to look at how I was managing things. And it also put me in a place where I really had to depend on my faith, because at the time I'm in such a low place where you don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to do these things. But navigating that when clients owe you money, and this isn't, you know, like 5,000, this is 20, 25, 30. And so also it teaches you how to deal with those problems as well.
Sure.
And so learning how to just communicate with others as I'm navigating business, being so young, and how to effectively, you know, tell people, hey, you know, we're putting in these procedures so you can get paid.
Right.
That has helped us manage our cash flow, is being more attentive to where our money is going, so we can allow that to come back in.
Gotcha.
So whether that's following up with people on invoices, hey, you got to pay us.
Yes.
Because, you know, that affects the service that we can provide to you as well. So we started playing it like that.
Okay.
Hey, when we're not paid on time, that affects the service we can provide you.
Sure.
You expect good service, we want to get good service.
And
ultimately, you know, that does great things for our lives as well when we're paid on time.
Man.
So getting that in wraps, and someone told, you know, but also understanding that when you do run a business and you have clients, I'm fortunate that we have clients that we're able to collect from as well. You know, because I can only imagine if I was looking for clients, and which I always am as well.
I love that.
But we're in a situation where we can really take care of what we have and really nurture that and continue to provide good service.
Okay. So have you guys utilized any resources with your financial management, or did you Dave Ramsey or any other kind of what did you all put in place to help you learn quickly how to manage your finances? Or was it just from trial and error?
Definitely trial and error, learning patterns on since we're dealing with a lot of food, like knowing how much we can spend at certain times, knowing how much we're using at certain locations. But we track everything in our business. You know, we're putting everything in Google Docs, Excel docs, so we know how much we're spending from 1 month to 1 month. And we just made it easier for ourselves to make more money, essentially. Because when you want to make more money, you start to know where that money's going.
Yeah, man.
And so we put in things in place, like we have a virtual assistant that does it all for us. You know, every time we get a receipt, scan it, put these numbers in. All right, how much are we spending? How much product are we buying? What product are we buying? What do we need more of? What's popular? And these aren't things that the average person's thinking about. But
for sure,
you can't treat your business like it's average, or else it's going to be an average business. So.
Love that. I love that you just said that. It's important that, and that's what I was trying to drive home with you and pull out of you. That stewardship and making sure that you're paying attention to the details because that's going to help you to have stability and longevity in your business. That's so cool, man. I love that. Dude, let's talk about work-life balance because we're getting close to the hour already.
Yeah, I know. We've uncovered a lot, though, man.
Yeah, man. Let's talk work-life balance. That is something that I think we all on every level. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business, how old you are. We all struggle with life work balance. Talk about your experience with that, and let's kind of unpack that for our listeners.
I'm very fortunate. I have a great work-life balance, but because I love what I do, and I've been able to create a business that allows me to really control my time. And not everyone has that, but I've also put in things into my life where I'm able to enjoy my life. I enjoy the gym. I love cooking. I love spending time with my family. So I do those things. And even when I had my 9 to 5 job, I worked a swing shift. I went in from 3 p.m. till 12 midnight. And I did that every day for 5 months. Wow. But still in the morning, I created a life or a lifestyle that I was comfortable living. And I fell in love with routine and habit and discipline. And people hear man. That's good. I love that. And they're like, oh my God, it sounds great, but doing it's hard. Yeah. Well, when you do the things you love, it's not really hard. Yeah. So, I fill my life with things that I like to do, and I enjoy my business, and I enjoy working with my brother, and I enjoy making money, and I love being in pursuit of something bigger than myself. Yeah. And lately I've been trying to find more purpose, and I've been finding that in faith. Okay. And my connection with the universe, and how can I take the gifts that the universe, that God has given me, and not only give those to my family, but give those to people who may not have that as well. Yeah. And that's what really has been inspiring me lately.
I want to clarify something because I've heard you use that term like 3 or 4 times now, the universe, right? Now, so I just don't want our listeners to get the wrong perception here because you're not talking new age stuff, right? No. When you say the universe, I mean, are you speaking specifically of God? Because, I want that to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm speaking of God, where God, nature, the connection that I have to the world itself. Okay. That's what I'm speaking to. Okay. Not only my connection with a higher being in faith, God is God. Yeah. But the universe is a connection that you also have with God, but also the world as a whole. Okay. And that's at least what it means to me. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I just don't want the viewers to think that we're talking, new age stuff or that, we depend on the universe to direct us or provide us. It's always God, right? Absolutely. Always God. Everything rises and falls with God. Absolutely. Right? Okay. So that's kind of a little sidebar. Let's talk more about life work balance. Because you really do have to have a set of disciplines that you've put in place. And man, have you found? I know I've found that it's so easy to get sidetracked because you have friends, you have family who want to do this stuff with you, or you want to go here and go there, but you have to have a set goal, a set a set of things that you've put in place, a structure that you've put in place, and you got to keep to that. I mean, it's about the end goal, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have a good understanding of not everyone can come with you.
Yeah.
But people can experience the joy and the journey that you have in your life and be a part of that.
Yeah.
And like, sorry.
No, it's all good. So have you noticed though, like with your working out, okay? For me, I put my work in, I start my day, I'll work all day long, but when I'm done, Bep, I head to the gym, right? And I have to do that because if not, then my work-life balance gets out of balance, right? And that's when things start to fall off. That's when, I've noticed for me that, my time management gets off. My mental state, it starts to get off, my perspectives get off. And so it's really about, and if you sound like you're like me, that I love structure and I love regiments. Right.
And then you find out that not everybody, like, it's like going to the gym. You go to the gym every day, but people want to talk with you and they want to connect with you, and you have all these things set in place. Yeah. And then you find out like, all right, not everyone really goes to the gym. What I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And they don't understand when you say, no, I can't because I have to go to the gym.
Exactly. And so a lot of people don't understand that part, the I can't part. But I really limit my weeks into, I focus on my work. During the week, I focus on my work. And there are times where I do unwind, but I'm so connected with very few people. I'm connected with everyone on a personal level. I love everyone. I love people and talking and communicating with people. But the people that you actually spend your time with, that form your mind, I really think that is a sacred space.
Yeah, dude.
And so I really keep a small circle in that
That's
sense.
so good. I'm glad you said that because, it makes it so much easier when you have a goal in mind if you surround yourself with like-minded people, right? You have people, I tell, I say this, I don't tell people this all the time, but I say this for myself. It's important for me that I share up, not share down, right? If I'm the smartest guy in the room always, then that's a problem, right? If I'm always sidestepping what my goals are for someone else, then that's a problem. Integrity, my personal integrity, business integrity, spiritual integrity, all those things are so important for me to maintain, right? Absolutely. And so as a business owner, you have to set these boundaries, right? You have to set these boundaries with your friends and your family. And after a while, they start to say, okay, I'm not going to even, go there because I know that.
Right. I tell myself I have people that I make money with, and I have people that I have a social connection with. And I try not to mix the two unless I know how serious a person is and how actively engaged that they are about the two. Right. And so I try to really be intentional with my relationships with others and how I communicate with others as well. And lately, I'm a person who wants to be heard, so I try to hear other people. I've been working on being a better listener as well.
Bro, that was hard, isn't it?
It is hard, but I'm finding so much joy just getting the opportunity to learn more about other people and really understanding that, other people want to talk to. So why not let them share? Right. It gives me an opportunity to share in turn as well.
I love that, man, because, I can tell you that, hosting this show, and did you notice that when you started hosting your show, it really, it pushed you to become a better listener, because we have our set structure, that we're going to talk about, there's things that we're going to talk about, and you want to kind of stick to that, but you really do. It's caused me to have to be a better listener. And man, people are saying some important stuff, and if I want to change my perspective and broaden my horizon and broaden my, my experience, then it's important that I hear someone else. Absolutely. And that we listen to other people because, we all have something to say.
And I think at the end of the day, like when I talk to other people, it's because I want information from them. And when I'm doing my podcast, I want my audience to gain information from who I'm interviewing. Yeah. So I want to be a good listener. Yeah. So we can both get the information that we all need.
I love that, bro. I love that. Let me ask you a question. How do you personally navigate your intersection of faith and business ethics?
Faith and business ethics. I just ask I I know I'm a good person, and I know that I have a good moral code, and am trying to live a good life, and so I just allow that the same way that I'm looking to grow spiritually, I try to allow that to help my business grow as well. I know that as my business continues to grow and I'm navigating challenges within my business, that I'm going to need to lean on something that can allow us to get through this together. And that's bigger than myself, because at the times where I am trying to control things and it's just me, that's a lot of weight to carry. And when I'm in the gym and I'm working out, I'm carrying enough weight. And so for me, finding a safe space, a sacred space to where I can just lay it all down and look for answers and guidance that I can't give myself.
Right.
And when it's talking to other people who are praying for me, or who may have the words that I don't have,
right,
or who have the experience that I don't have, I can lean on that to help me continue to know that, all right, whatever I'm going through, I will get through it.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes it's like, a problem comes up and it's the end of the world. My business is shutting down.
Right.
And it's not really that serious, but we allow ourselves to take it there.
Right.
And being young or having people that depend on you, it's hard not to. But understanding that there's someone, that there's faith that you can fall back on. And when I began to look at my business or look at other people who I was emulating or wanted to be like, I was searching, and I'm like, what's the one thing that these people have in common? Well, these people have great faith. And so I knew that they were living their lives differently or relying on something else. I knew they weren't. They were stronger than me because they had they had a foundation. They had a foundation that was bigger than mine. And so I think that learning how to build one and understanding that you can build one no matter where you are in life, I think that's what keeps me strong and grounded. Understanding that the foundation that I have is strong. And if I continue to grow spiritually and within my faith, understand the person that you can be, that can only allow you to grow bigger. Yeah.
So is your faith based on biblical principles? Talk about that just for a second.
Yeah, I think growing up in the church and you hear a lot of things, I think naturally I always fall back to biblical principles, being around people who are in the church, my godmother Tivoli, my grandparents. It's always in my mind is how can I live more like Christ? How can I allow my life to be impacted the way theirs have been? And I think in today's day and age, being younger with all the distractions that there are in the world that we go through, and I'm not perfect. I get distracted as well. I have fell victim to all of that.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to know where you come from.
Sure.
So you understand that how strong God's love really is for you. And I think having that understanding has really helped me at times where I haven't had faith. There's been times in my life where I feel like things are happening in my life. Why are they happening to me? My cousin died. I thought I was the only one who had experienced loss before, without recognizing that that's something that we all go through, and just navigating my relationship with God then, and understanding that there still is love out there, even when you don't feel any. I think that having that experience happen to me has really brought me closer back to my relationship with God recently as well.
Okay, that's good, man. I'm asking these questions because in the business world, man, there are a lot of unethical practices and unethical people out there, right? And it's for me, it's so important that when I'm interacting with my clients or I'm interacting with business partners, my faith is the plumb line, right, of my ethics, right? Because if there's been situations where if I can win this deal if I do something unethical, or I can get a better, I can get a better, I can get a better gain from this partnership if I do something unethical. But it's important for me that I maintain Christ as the center of it all. And it's Christ that helps me, it helps me to stay focused, right? Because at the end of the day, you can't have faith without having ethics.
And sorry to interrupt, but at the end of the day, with you having the faith and principles that you've done, how many times have God placed you in a position where even you're around those type of unethical people?
Sure.
I found in my life, since I've always been around love and great people, that God has always blessed me to be around people with genuine intentions as well. And I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, man.
That I'm not in a room full of snakes and I can trust the people that I'm around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One more question for you. What qualities have helped you define effective leadership?
Effective leadership. What qualities? A person that's inspired by action, inspired by faith. They can lead others. They're very compassionate. This does not sound like a football coach, but one of the most impactful persons in my life was definitely my high school football coach. How he had relationships with other people, but how he was a great team builder. He was a great leader.
I love that.
We won championships, but how he navigated, his coaching team, it was very business-like. And I take that same approach to my life as in being structured, but I always knew that the things that we were doing it because not only he had experienced it, right, but he gave us that faith, that belief to do those things. Good. Yeah, a good leader definitely inspires action. They do. I think they're involved in the heavy day to day because they know what they've been so involved. Yeah. And so they know what they're doing.
Yeah, man. And it's about taking personal responsibility. You be the change that you want to see. You lead by example. You have that servant leader mentality, I love that, bro. I love that. So dude, we're at the top of the hour. What advice can you give someone your age? Because you were how old when you started your business?
I started my first business at 23 or 24. I started the party rental business. Sold that at 25. Then I've been doing my food service business for a year now. I've been licensed in real estate since I was 21.
Bro, that's so cool. So you're ahead of the curve, right?
That's why it's important to start early. So my biggest thing for people is just start. The things that you want to do. If you have a passion or a hobby that you want to make full time, you have to start exposing people to it now. Good. Because if you start later, it's going to be harder. So if you start doing the things that you like to do early on, then more people will gain traction for it later.
Yeah. Good stuff. So is that the advice that you would give to someone that wants to start a business? Is just start?
Start that business. Find ways to make money and continue to repeat that process. I'm very process oriented. Everything that we do has a process. And so when you find something that works, repeat it and do it over and over and over again. Nice.
Today we're talking about navigating entrepreneurship and faith with my man, Kahil. Did I say it right, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure, man.
Kahil Dillard is in the house. Dude, this is great, man. I just want to say thank you for being on the show today. It was very insightful talking with you, man, and I'm super impressed by everything that you're accomplishing. So check it out. If you need a house sold or you want to buy a house, my man here can help you with that. If you have a business and you want to hire his company for food service and vending machine, snacks and things of that nature, how can the folks contact you?
You can find me on all social medias at The Realtor KD, or you can go to my website, www.therealtorkd.com as well. Yeah. Everywhere at The Realtor KD. You know where to find me.
I love it, man. I want to say thank you to my listeners for tuning in today. Again, if this episode has been interesting to you and you found some value in it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere there is a social. LifeTalk Radio is there. And I want to say thank you again, and we will see you on our next episode.